We are Harmony Spiritual Center. And what that means is that we are a new thought spirituality. And that means that we believe that we are individualized expressions of the one love, which is God. So while I love that song, it's one of my sister's favorite songs, and it's a beautiful song, but we don't have to imagine, because we know what it's like. We already know, because we are one with the one, and we know that with prayer and meditation, we hear a word, we speak a word, and we walk every single day with the one, every single day. That's what it's like. That's what we do here. We believe that God is all there is, and we are one with one another and one with the one. We teach universal principles and laws. I remember the first guru that I went to go see was Brian Tracy. And the thing about it is, and I was reading this a couple of days ago, and this is so true, there's so much wisdom, so many wise words, ancient and new, out there right now. There's always so much. You can just type in, let me hear some wise words. You can have wise words come to your computer, come right to your desk every single morning. The thing is, what do you do with those wise words? What do you do with them? How do you incorporate them into your life? And for me, that's one of the things that I learned years ago from Brian Tracy in his book. Well, I'll come back to the name of the book. But anyway, because I just see Maximum Achievement. It's the first time I'd heard about universal laws and why it's so important that we share those, that we understand them, and that we share them. Because the universal law is a truth that is true for everyone. And what is true for everyone is that we are all individualized expressions. And because we are, we get to co-create our lives by our imaginings, by what we think, by what we say, and by what we do. This is why we do it. And that's what we teach here. We speak what we seek. Speak into the universe what you seek. Speak into the universe what you want to see from the universe. So if whatever is happening in your life is not what you want, speak something different. Because our words are powerful, our thoughts are powerful, and that's what we do. We speak into the universe what we want to see from the universe. So I want to ask you a question. Why are you here today? Because another powerful thing, another law, is the law of intention. What is your intention? Why are you here today? And it doesn't have to be about listening to a good word. It could be that you just want to be around like beings, like minds, like hearts. You know, it's a powerful thing to belong. And part of belonging is that you're around a group of people who have the same, know the same truths and have the same beliefs and same thoughts about that everyone is connected and that we're all able. And that's a part of belonging. So maybe you're just here for that. That's a beautiful thing. Maybe you just want to hug, because from the post-pandemic, we're hugging again. And we like that. But if you don't want to hug, you can say, I'm hugging from here. Hugging from here. It's okay, whatever you came for. So set your intention, because I'll tell you right now, the law says that whatever you set your intention on is what you will definitely receive. So set an intention to get what you came here for today. That's what we do. So right here, I have in here what my previous talk was and what the point was. I don't remember what the previous talk was. It was a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember what it was. Hopefully it was good. Hopefully you got something from it. All right, so we're going to move on. Today's talk is about everyone in this house has a job. Everyone in this house has a job. And that came, I'm sure, because that's something my mom said. And I'm sure it came in response to us asking, well, why I got to make up my bed? And why I got to clean up my room? And what are all the things that kids ask their parents? And my mom said, because everyone in this house has a job. If I'm going to get up and go to work, you're getting up and go to work. Everybody who is able gets up and goes to work. And so we all had our jobs, and it was a little bit sexist at the time, but that's okay. You know, the girls had to keep the kitchen clean and do the dishes, and my brother had to keep the yard clean and take out the trash, and everybody had to clean up their room. Everybody had to do their own laundry, because my mom said, I'm not a maid. I'll pick up behind you. If it's not a restaurant, you don't get to choose. This is what I'm cooking. Either eat it or don't. It's up to you. You can starve, but I'm not making anything extra. That's what's happening. And so then the other question was, how come Dad doesn't have to go to work? You know, he doesn't do anything around the house because he does the big job. He pays for everything. The food on the table and all that, the house that you're under, that's his job. So you just worry about your job. Right? So the reason why I want to talk about that is because while that was how the house was run, and it was, I want to look at the lessons, because there's so many lessons that come from the things that our parents did. And as you're going through it, you just think they're mean and that, this is a crazy and whatever it is. But it turns out that it's actually a good thing. And I want to share with you some of the lessons that came from that, because I'm pretty sure that all of us had some version of that in our lives. Some version of, we all had work to do. So one of the things that happens is that when we have work in the home, we have a purpose. We have some purpose. And I know I talked with you a couple of talks ago, and I don't remember which one it was, but it was about teen suicide. And one of the reasons that was spoken about, and this came obviously not after they passed away, but talks up to the time when they decided to take their lives, was that they simply didn't feel like they would be missed. Like no one would even notice they were gone. And part of that is because they don't feel like they're needed. And so one of the important things that we do as a family is to make sure that everybody has a job to do, because they're important to the family functioning. Okay? If I don't do my job, if my brother doesn't take out the trash, what are we going to do? The trash gets overflowing. It just affects everyone. So what you do affects other people. That's what we learned about that. And then that gives us a sense of belonging and purpose. Because, my family needs me to do my job. And so then as you go on through life, you begin to see, and I talked about being a good hostess. One of the things that hostesses do is that they want to make sure that you have everything you need when you come to their home or whatever it is you're doing. That's great. The other thing that a really good hostess will do is to put their guests to work. Because what happens is, it makes them feel like they actually belong to the place. They belong, that you want them there. They're invited. And it doesn't have to be big work. You can say, hey, can you help me set the table? Can you put some silverware? Can you find the napkins for me? I can't find, can you stir the pot? Whatever it is, it makes people feel like they're useful and that they belong to this community. So it's important that we do that. And that's one of the things that my parents did when they made sure we all had a job, because we all felt like we were needed and necessary in the home. And now you're around a group of people that you actually have something in common with in terms of your values as well. It's certain in terms of your values as well. So we have a purpose. One of the things I want to talk to you about purpose is that we all feel like we have this feeling that we're here for a reason. And we're always looking around going, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? I believe, and this is the world according to Pjae, so take it or leave it. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it's okay. But what I believe is that all of us have the same purpose. The purpose is to serve, to help, and to serve yourself and others, other travelers on this journey. That's what all of our purposes are. What's confusing is because we have so many gifts and talents. We think our gifts and talents are our purpose, and they're not. Our gifts and talents help us to provide the purpose that we are here for, and that is to serve. So we simply use our gifts like you're using your music to serve here. You're teaching, whatever, all those things, like you're teaching. Your gifts are what you use to serve. So don't get caught up in wondering, where should I use my gifts? Use my gifts wherever you want to serve, because that's the true purpose for us, for each other, to help one another. Because this journey is hard enough. It's a difficult journey. It's a good journey, but humans, it's a difficult journey, and we're here to help one another through. We were talking this morning about looking around, and we see people suffering, and we wonder, why can't we help? And one of the people in the talk was talking about, they remember they were talking to I'm going to tell this on you, Igor, was talking to his mom, and she was going on just talking, and he's going, and at one point she said, how come you're not saying anything? You're just listening. He said, because you're not asking a question. Because I remember, Pjae, you say. Okay? If no one asking a question, you can't answer. So he said, so you didn't ask a question, so I'm listening. And she said, oh, this is true. I have not. So she recognized that she was just kind of going on and really not giving him an opportunity to speak because she wasn't asking anything. She was just going on and on. So this is what we do, right? We get to serve, we get to help. That's what we're here for. What we're trying to discern is where we get to help. And that's why the whole thing about you can't answer a question isn't being asked. But you can do other things. You can do other things. Here's what I love. One of the things that when you're serving, when you're helping people, you don't have to go and say, what do you need? You can look around and see what needs to happen, right? Anywhere that you are. You don't have to wait for a special moment. I'm going to wait until I go to the gathering. I'm going to wait until I go to the reunion and then see. I'm going to wait for what? Because life is happening right now in this moment. Everywhere we are, we get a chance to serve. You want to know a great place to serve? This is not a joke. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. A great place to serve is Walmart. Number one, because we're always there. Who isn't in Walmart? All right, so it's too late for that. We've all been to Walmart, and there's always a place to help. There's someone that's in one of those little carts, that's driving around. They can't reach the high shelf. If I'm behind someone and I see they're trying to get something, I just ask, can I help you? Do you need something? Okay. I have people walking out trying to carry bags, and I'll just help. Do you need some help with that? And then there's a conversation that struck up. Just a conversation, just a friendly little conversation. Sometimes I'll see someone. I think I shared this story with you. I was in Walmart and I was trying to fill my basket with this was an oversized toilet thing, big roll things, and I had the cart kind of sideways. I was really blocking her way to get past. And I was, ooh, let me try to get out of the way because I don't like to be in the way. But then, of course, because I was trying to hurry, I was messing up. I dropped it. I was in her way even longer. And I look over, and I'm looking at her face. And it looks to me like what's on her face is when she gonna get out the way. And so I'm trying to hurry, and then I thought to myself, you don't know what's on her mind. You have no idea what's on her mind. So I asked her. I just said, after I got the cart straightened up, I was going past her. I said, how you doing? I said, you look like you're a little bit tired. And she said, I'm so tired. I am 90 years old, and I'm sick of pushing this cart. And I said, oh, my God. So I pushed it out of her way, and we just started talking. I said, you look great. Really? You're 90? And we just had a great conversation. Do you understand? I'm just saying, everywhere you go, all the time, there's an opportunity to serve. There is nothing greater than smiling at someone. Do you know what it does to someone when you smile at them? You know what it says? I don't know if you know this, but what it says is, I see you, and you're okay with me. Do you know how many people need to know that? A lot of people are walking around, don't feel like they're okay, don't feel like they're worthy. Just a smile when you go by somebody says, I see you, and you're okay with me. So just smile. Smile a lot. That's one of the things, when I travel, people ask me this question a lot. What's the one thing? What's the one thing that people said about you? Or what's the one thing that you noticed? The one thing, when I was traveling in Asia, everyone said was they loved my smile. They loved the smile. And I purposely smile at people because I know that it brings down tension. There may not be any tension, but I know that it brings down tension. And it's just a friendly thing that you can do that is so easy to just look somebody in the eye and smile, even if they don't smile back. You're not doing it to get something back. That's not the reason. The reason is because you love other people, because we are serving other people. And to just smile at someone and say, I see you, and you're okay with me, is a beautiful way to serve. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. So the reason why I'm talking about all of these things is because, back to my first point, there's a lot of wisdom out there. But the question becomes, what do we do with it? What do we do? How do we serve? It's not that complicated. It seems like it's complicated, but it really isn't. Do what you can where you are. Always thinking about, what can I do now? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. But we talk about the beginning of the year, and sometimes through the year, probably in July, I'll come up with another talk just to kind of reassess. What do you want to do for the year? Who are you? And we talk about our top, and there's all kinds of values. There's hundreds of values. You can't keep all those in your head. But for me, thinking about what my top 5 values are, that's what I walk with every single day as I'm going through life. Compassionate. Okay? My spirituality means a lot to me, right? Family, tribe, okay? Truth, just being authentic and true. So are those my top 5? Those are the things that I'm sure every single day I'm doing. What did I do today with my family? What did I do today to love other people? What did I do today? You see, that's just those top 5 things. So you just keep that in your mind. That's all. And so opportunities show up. Opportunities show up. Opportunities grow as you seize them. Do you understand that? Opportunities grow as you seize them. So do something good, and more opportunity to do something good shows up. Serve, and more opportunity to serve. And serve the way you want, not the way you think that you should be serving. You could go down and serve the homeless, but that doesn't resonate with you, then don't do that. It's not because it's not a good thing, it's because it's not resonating with you. Serve in the way that resonates with you. Then it doesn't become a job. It's simply you being you. That is all. And then serving every single day. So that's, I had this story, I'm not going to tell it because I went off the rails and went someplace, as I do. But I do want to share this other thing that, again, Brian Tracy shared with me through his book. And actually, I did go to see a couple of his talks when I was living in San Diego. His book, Maximum Achievement, if you've never read it, it's an old book, but it's really great. It has a lot of the universal laws in them and how you use them. It's very step-by-step, how to do things and what to do. But he said one of his laws is about the law of control. And he says, and I believe this is true, from experience. People can say things, but it becomes your truth when you experience it and you know that this is how it works. He said, we feel good about ourselves to the degree that we feel in control of our lives, okay? We feel good about our lives, not ourselves, our lives. We feel good about our lives to the degree we feel we're in control of our lives. And how do we get in control of our lives? By making decisions for our lives. And knowing what your top 5 values are and living your life in this way is a measure of control over your life. Knowing that you are moving through and being who you want to be every day and every moment of the day. Now we're in control of our lives. We're not letting destiny and things, I should do something good because this popped up, or I should do something because that popped up. No. You are deciding who you're going to be every single day by those 5 values that you hold. And not that you only have 5. Just, I can only hold about 5 things, 3, 4, 5. I'm getting less and less as the days go. But just saying. But the biggest thing for me is my spirituality and loving other people. And if I do those 2 things, I feel like I've had a good day. I feel like I've had a good day. So whatever it is for you, I'm not talking about what's mine. I'm talking about what's yours. But I'm saying you get to make the choice. We are individualized expressions of the one. So we get to co-create our lives by determining what it is we want to do with our lives. And then understanding that there are universal truths and the universe is on our side. And last time we talked, it could have been the last time I spoke, but the last couple times I spoke about the Emily Cady quote. Emily Cady is a wonderful New Thought writer and speaker from the early 1800s. And one of the things that Emily says is that the universe is abundant, but a demand must be made. Okay? So really briefly, to make the point, I'll tell you this story that I've told you many, many times. It is so brilliant in my head. It's always there and reminds me of the demand. So I'm looking for a house, I'm briefly short. I'm looking for a house in San Diego or a place to stay. I see this great house. I say I want to get it. I call. The guy says, I'm not going to show it until Saturday. I said, okay. When I called him on Saturday, he's already rented it. So that, I was hacked off. But I said to God, why didn't I get this house? You knew that I wanted this house. Why didn't I get this house? And Spirit said to me, actually, I did not know that you wanted a house. Well, why is that? Because you know everything. So why is it that you didn't know that? Right? Yeah. And so Spirit said, because you said, what you said to me was, this could work. And I agreed. It could work. And you said, this would be nice. And I agreed. It would be nice. But you never said that you wanted it. Oh, okay. So no demand was made. Then back to my point, no demand was made. I said, all right, fine. So the next time I see a house, I'm going to make it clear. So I saw the next house, and it was lovely. It was great. And I said, all right, Spirit, this house. I want this house right here. This house right here. The one I'm standing in front of, this is the one I want. Is that clear? Spirit said, got you. I got you. So here's what happens. I got the house, by the way. But just what happens is, because I spoke with Spirit, and it was so clear to me that demand was made, and that Spirit answers prayer. So I said I wanted it. I knew I was going to get it. I spoke differently. When I called the guy up and I said, hey, I want to see your house. And again, I'm okay, I'm only showing it on Saturday. I said, now listen, I don't want to turn out of you, all right? I'm coming, and I want to see the house. He said, no, seriously, I can't do it. I'm working. I can't do it until Saturday morning. He said, but let me tell you, I've got 25 other people that have already called and said they want to look at this house. And I said, I don't care about those 25 people because the house is mine. I'll see you on Saturday. And he's like, what the? All right. So he hangs up the phone. Do you know I was the only person that showed up? He said there were 25 other people coming. I was the only one that showed up, number one. Didn't matter. 25 could have showed up. Didn't matter. I filled out the paperwork, and I said, let me give you the down payment for it. And he said, I can't take the down payment. You haven't even, I haven't done your credit checks. I said, don't you worry about that. That's all going to pass. This is my house. Take the money. I'm not kidding. You think I'm exaggerating, but I actually spoke to him that way because I knew. I already knew. I take the money, and I'm leaving town, so call me and tell me where I can pick up the key. He's like, what in the easy am I doing? What's going on here? Anyway, he called me. He said, yeah, you can come pick up the key. Whatever. This is how you know. I'm just saying that if you know truth, and here's what Emily said, the universe is abundant, a demand must be made. I agreed. I asked Spirit, I said, I didn't ask, I said, this is the house I want. I want this house. Spirit said, got you. And there it is. That's how life goes. That's how life goes. And I was talking to Delia back there in a room the other day, and I'm telling her again. I tell stories. So if you guys don't want me to tell stories, don't tell me. Because I tell on you. But only when they're good, universal stories. And she said, Pjae, you're just always standing up there talking about, if you want something from Spirit, just ask. Just ask. Oh, just ask. Just ask. Like it's so easy. Oh. You know what? It is. That's what she said. It is. We think it's harder than it is. We were talking this morning about, because the Dalai Lama was, I think it was Tutu was talking about how he speaks to God. And sometimes he's just pissed off. And he's just, what's going on? He's just talking to God, just all angry. And one of the people in the room said, I feel guilty when I speak to God in that way. And I said, is there anything that your child could say to you that would bother you? That would bother you, hurt your feelings, whatever, but that you would not respond to them. Is there anything your child could do? So this is what Spirit, another thing, this is what Spirit's like, okay? This is what Spirit is like. You talk to Spirit in the fashion that you need to speak. God's not going to get mad at you. God's just going to respond. God is going to respond. The only thing I would think, and I don't think that God gets upset, but I think if you wanted to say that Spirit got upset, I believe the only thing that Spirit gets upset with is that we don't bring enough troubles to Spirit, that we struggle too much before we ask. We were just talking this morning about the people that we work with or that we're around, the children that we're around, and how much struggling they're doing, and how little we can impact them until they ask for our help, until they're open to receive our help. I think that's how Spirit feels. If we're one with Spirit, that's how we feel. Spirit's probably feeling the same thing about us. Why are you struggling so hard? Why don't you let me help you? But Spirit won't help you unless you make a demand and ask for help. That's all. That's all we're here to do. So that's why, back to the original point, why that's such a great thing that everyone in this house has a job. Because you get to know that you belong, that you matter. When you're walking around thinking you don't matter, then you don't do anything to serve anybody else. You're in yourself as opposed to being out and helping other people, because that is our purpose in life. All of us have the same purpose. We're simply doing it in different ways. And that is to serve ourselves and each other with the gifts and the talents that we have been given. That's what they're there for, to help us serve. So figure out how you want to serve in the way that resonates with you, and have a great life in every moment of your life. Have a great day by serving others as you serve yourself. And so it is. Namaste.